Tuesday, and the major U.S. stock averages are clinging to the flat line. Of course, all eyes are on Disney's earnings, which will be coming out after the closing bell. So joining me now is Alan Valdes, Senior Partner at Silverbear Capital. Alan, great to have you here.
Rami, thanks for having me as always.
Well, it is August, and we are in the middle of summer doldrums. Both Wall Street as well as Washington, D.C. are on summer vacation or recess, at least in terms of volume. So given that we did get some better than expected earnings out from retailers, Michael Kors, Ralph Lauren, have you changed your focus in terms of sectors?
No, I still think the retailer is going to have a tough time going into the holiday season. We'll have to wait and see. But I think overall, I still like the airlines. I still like the techs. I think they're going to stay strong. But, you're right. The volume right now is just as we were speaking now, ticked over 200 million. Very quiet day. We used to open at 200 million. So it's a very quiet day down here. And we do get a slew of earnings later. And all eyes will be on Disney.
And at least at the end of this week, we will be getting inflation figures out from the U.S. Now, given last week's jobs report, as well as some Fed comments we've been getting so far this week, we'll be paying attention to those numbers. But do you expect to see a Fed hike this year?
Yeah, I think we'll get a Fed hike. I think first we're going to get a rollback on the bond portfolio. They want to cut back, slim down that $4 trillion or whatever it is, $2 trillion. And then I think December, you may see a rate hike to end the year a little higher. I don't think the market will mind a rate hike, but I do think if they start to roll back, they're talking about doing $10 billion a month, I think it is. That could be antsy. I mean, every time they try that, the market capitulates and comes in. So we have to wait and see. Now, if they do that in September and try it in October and the market still comes in more, you may not see a rate hike. But I think it's rate hike still on because $10 billion's $4 trillion. It's nothing. So we'll have to wait and see, though. But I think you'll see a rate hike on for December, not in September.
And Alan, I do want to ask you about tax reform. We all know that Congress is on recess right now, but when they do come back, we have the debt ceiling deadline and expectations of some sort of tax reform. So far, we only have Trump's one-pager as well as the outline that was formed last year in terms of tax reform. But in terms of finer details, what do you expect to see?
Yeah, during the election, he was talking about cutting it back to, 25% or something like that. I don't think that's realistic. I think you could see 30, 35%, which would still be a win-win for the market. Anything above 35%, the market's not going to like it so much. But he's got to implement these. Talking about, really getting on it by September. Because 2018, the midterms, if he doesn't get it now, I think he's not going to get it. So he's really got to work on it. And I don't see any politician turning it down. Cutting back to 25% is great. And I think we'll see that this year.
Okay, Alan. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And as always, thanks for your insight.
Remy, thanks so much.